For how many minutes are surfers supposed to hold their breath for? Is it a crucial skill in order to progress in surfing overall and especially in surfing bigger waves? Hi, I'm Carolina Bon, and in this video I'm going to share some experience and my overview on breathwork for surfers. I used to hate it and found so many excuses to not do it, and whenever I start to train for a week or two, then I would find an excuse why I can't train anymore, because literally like every time it took me so much effort to start working with an app or with a coach, or I would pause training or coaching in breathwork for bigger waves, and then I would just stop and quit forever. So I finally found a way how to do it more consistently, which I'm going to share in this video, and also give you a couple of tips that can help you, and you can use them already just now without any trainings. A year ago, I made this video with my friend Dolphin, who's a big wave surfer from Bali. He surfed big swells in Nazare, and he's super experienced in all the breath work, breath holds, and he taught me a lot. Since then, I was kind of trying to train, but it always was super inconsistent. Then I passed this training by Augusta and offline in Bali, and it was super helpful and super useful for me. It was for 2 days, theory at first, and then some practice on land, and then we had some practice and exercises in the pool. And as a disclaimer, I would like to share that you can't train by yourself in the water, in the ocean, or in the pool. It's very dangerous. Even if you do not really long breath holds, you can still pass out or something may go wrong, and it's super important. If you train with water, you need to have another person watching you, like a coach or a friend, whoever, but never train alone. And if you train on land, then it's relatively safe. If you pass out, as I assume, you just wake up after some time, so it's not super dangerous. I train alone on land by myself, and yeah, I never passed out. Share your feedback in the comments if you ever passed out training breath work for surfers or not. This training is really amazing. You can even start training online. Check out the link in the description box below, and this is super useful, and this online program allows you to train on a more consistent basis, which is always such a big problem, as I mentioned before. You start, you train for a couple of days or once, and then you just give up and forget about this forever. So when I arrived to Sikatela, I used to live in Bali. I lived there for around 5 years in Indonesia, and then this year I arrived to Sikatela 2 months ago, and I remembered how important it is to train breath work, because here in Sikatela it's super shallow, but it barrels all the time, and the wipeouts, even when it's small, they are quite heavy. And it's called Mexican pipe for a reason, because it's probably as heavy as the real pipe. It's sand on the bottom though, but still it hurts if you hit it with your head or some other body parts. Anyway, whenever you get a wipeout or you try to pedal out, and you need to duck dive or just dive through the whitewash, it actually holds you for quite a while, and the whitewash is super until the sky. I don't know, it's it's huge, and it's super heavy, and sometimes you get there is no channel, so you get a lot of waves on your head. There is a rip current, and well, I had really bad situations a few times, even when it was not too big, 10 feet or so, but the rip current brought me back under the lip in the impact zone, and then I had to take, I don't know, dozens of waves on my head. I don't know, even taking 5 waves, that would be super heavy. You have to hold your breath. Of course, it's just for 5 seconds or no, 3 seconds. It's not a long time, but because you do it many times in a row, then you still get tired. And the main thing is not that you die from suffocation or something. You start to perform worse. So as a main problem, I see this, lower performance. You swim slower, you get tired easier, and you start to get nervous. And then the second thing is, because of all this and because of lack of oxygen in your brain, you make worse decisions where to pedal. That happened to me when I got caught in the rip current, and instead of pedaling out, which would have been a better solution, trying to pedal back in, and I just kept taking the waves on my head, and I was really like super stuck in the impact zone. And then eventually I pedaled in, but I started to pass out near the beach, and someone pulled me out from the water. I got super tired, and I already I didn't see anything. Everything was black in my eyes. And this is just so dangerous, even on such a small day. I just couldn't believe I almost drowned on under such small waves. So this is the importance of the breath work. This is not, I'm not sharing tips for people to free dive or hold their breath for 5 minutes. I don't hold my breath for 5 minutes, and I know a lot of big wave surfers who surf Tiahupu and Nazara and other spots. They don't hold breath for 5 minutes. You don't actually need to do that. It's not about for how many minutes and how long you can do. This is not a competition here. The thing is that under stressful circumstances in wipeouts and swimming from the impact zone, you need to stay calm, perform, make smart decisions that will make you safe and bring you to a safer place from where you currently are. This is why I think it's very important to train breath work, just to control your anxiety, your stress level, your heart rate, and I think, yeah, this is what the breath work for surfers is really about, in my opinion. So people have DM'd me on Instagram a few questions about what apps I use for breath work and how I train. So number one recommendation I already shared. This is the training from Survival Apnea. The link is in the description box below. And if you just want to try train by yourself, I would recommend this app. I have been using it for many months already, and it's a great way to train your tolerance to low level of oxygen and high level of CO2. You can train by yourself with the app, not in the water, as I mentioned, on land. But this is very important that you train with some physical activity when you're tired. So not just standing or sitting in your bed or lying in bed, because this will be first too easy, and second not really the conditions that you are going to use these skills for. So what I do, number one recommendation, I have been recommended this by my coach who serves big barrels. So you can train walking, so you can use the app and you walk, and then you're at least a bit tired. What I do sometimes as well is I run for a bit at the beach, and then I get tired, I increase the heart rate, ruin my the breath, so I'm like this, and then I start to train, because this is exactly how you will be in the wipeout, in the water, nervous or something else is going wrong, and then you can imitate this and create conditions that are similar to those when you're going to need some breath holds. So either walk or run or do something else. Swimming is also good, but before training, so not training in the water. Probably you won't be doing that with your iPhone, right? So swimming and training at the same time. So you can go for a run or swim or walk and then train. Also just being active, like walking, for example. And then you can do the breath holds. And yeah, I think these two tables are probably the best thing that helped me a lot to progress and to start feeling confident in the water. Even after I trained for 1 or 2 weeks here in Zicatela, I started to notice how much easier it got for me, and even on bigger days I already was not nervous or anxious. I knew that if I am caught, I'll be fine with it, and I can just survive taking waves on my head, not literally, because in Cicatella you probably won't survive if it hits directly into your head, but it's like the whitewash, you can dive through it. And I started to have this feeling of like tiredness, blacking out, the feeling of being like super weak, because before I started to train with these tables of CO2 and O2 tolerance, I felt really weak, like I can't perform, I can't be swimming anymore, pedaling anymore, and less focused, less concentrated, and making worse decisions. So this app helped me for sure to just stay focused, concentrated, and make better decisions. What direction to pedal, where the current is, what is the most optimal way to get around the whitewash, how to return to the beach. And another thing that is instant help, and I already talked about this in my other videos, but I'm gonna mention it anyway. This is square breath. It's a very great technique. It's not from like surfing or free diving. It's just general technique against anxiety, but it works so great for surfing because you can do it even when you're paddling out. And in Cicatella, when it's bigger and when I pedal out, I do it sometimes to calm down and decrease the heart rate. This is called square breath. So you just breathe in 4 counts, then hold your breath for 4 counts, breathe out 4 counts, and hold your breath again for 4 counts. It also there is also this square breath scheme in the app that I mentioned, but like you don't need a scheme for it. You can do more counts or less counts depending on your own pace. And yeah, it's just like it helps immediately, and it helps against anxiety too, so you can do it even just in life, not for surfing. But for surfing it's perfect because when it's bigger and you start to get nervous, you pedal out and you just do this breathing thing, and it just immediately helps you to be more focused and less worried, and then just improve like the overall state and breathing, and be prepared for a big wipeout or a big barrel. Leave your feedback in the comments if this video was useful for you. Don't forget to click the like button if this video was useful for you. Leave your feedback in the comments if you have any questions about breath work or anything else, or about Puerto Escondido, Mexico, or surfing in Cicatella, and I'll make sure to cover it in my next videos. Thank you for watching. Bye.